Welcome back to the show. My name is John Nava.
David Lopez.
All right, here with our boy today, Danny. He is a vintage reseller. He's got the best shirts on the block, and he's in your favorite store, Tadaima, and he's getting cut and swole in the gym. Make some noise for Danny.
Woo! What's up, guys? Thank you for having me. Appreciate to be on your show, and I'm excited to be here.
After the third take, come on, David. We had two good ones.
We got it.
We good. I think we're good. Yeah, we good. So
We good. Okay, now you're trying to be nonchalant. So the camera just keep rolling.
okay.
Why are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous right now. Stop saying it.
So what's up?
What?
What's going on? How's your day?
I'm chilling, man. It's been a chill day. Nothing crazy. Just been at home, getting shit done. Went to the gym, like you said. You know, just regular day old stuff.
Okay.
Day to day shit. You know.
Day to day. You were at Tipping Point earlier, right?
Yeah, I went to get a nice little matcha. I'm a matcha fella now. I like it. I like matcha. It's nice.
Yeah.
They got the best matcha in the city.
Does the color not like disgust you sometimes?
It's green.
Yeah, like it's
I
not
love
like
green.
that's negative connotations to that. So it's like
No, that's my favorite color.
Green.
or like a drink, like a green drink.
It's-
You know, like
no.
it's got like slime. You know, like
Nah.
Slime. No, it's like green is a positive color. It has
It's
no,
a
but
color.
not as a drink.
okay. Matcha. You're a matcha fella now.
Yeah, I'm matcha fella now. I like
Okay.
matcha.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So I mean, we're really on here to talk about fashion. We're here to talk about vintage. You guys are in vintage, but in a different way. I'm not putting down with.
Are you
with
putting us in boxes now?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
that's
All
what we're all about.
right, there we go.
I think you got like one of the best selections, like consistently. Like there's always something in a rack, whether you're at a pop up or whatnot. There's always something I want. So like, how has that been going for you?
It's been going good. I think for the amount of work that I've put in, I think it's been going great. There's always room for improvement, of course, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to figure out how to make it grow. Because I'm just one person at the end of the day. It's a lot of work. I mean, David knows it's a lot of work just to like find the stuff, take pictures, list it, make it look cool for people to want it. Shout out to y'all for the lookbook, by the way.
Yes.
But it is a lot of work. So as one person, I'm not complaining though. But I am thinking of new ways to make it work better for myself.
Like what?
Whether it's maybe like bringing someone on to help me. That's something I've been thinking about a lot because I mean, just for one person it's hard for sure. Or honestly, just locking in and working like nonstop, literally. Cause
You're gonna 2-man it though?
we'll see. The 2-man thought of that, like it's hard because it's like it's your business, so you have to figure out how to go about that with someone else. Like you're either gonna make them your employee or you're gonna make them your partner.
That's true.
So it's a
Very
lot to
different
think about.
things.
You know what I mean?
Very different things.
Very different
Yeah.
for sure. So it gets tricky, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just thinking about new things to make shit move more.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, I would like to. My goal is to like sell stuff that I would wear,
Mhm.
sell stuff that I feel like is worth buying, and just recycle. I think I do like the recycling aspect of vintage. You know what I mean? Because
Cool.
like sometimes you get tired of wearing the same shit all the time. So it's like yeah, I think it's very important to be open-minded about what you buy and what you wear and yeah, just the price you pay at the end of the day, because
For sure.
that's what really makes or breaks it, the price, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, you could get like good price for
Yeah.
your wares. too.
Right. I mean, that's how I usually think about it. You know, how much price you're getting per wear, or
That's a good way to look at it.
so. But so going back to what you said, like you just want to keep things that you would wear, right? Like if you're trying to scale it, I think at some point you kind of have to like leave that idea behind.
Oh, yeah,
what you're
for
thinking.
sure.
So like, is that something trolling? Because for me, at least, that feels a little trolling. Because you're trying to scale, and at some point, if you're scaling, you're just going super broad to where you're like, oh, I would never wear this.
Right.
Like, is that something that you have trouble with at all, or like, how do you see that? Because it kind of nowadays you kind of have to have like a good curation to be successful, as
100%.
to before where it was like a lot of wholesaling,
Mhm.
So like, do you have trouble with that idea, or do you think that like it's just something you you can evolve it. You evolving the way you see things.
I think I'm involving it in this in the sense because I'm definitely of the idea of selling everything because I don't care to keep personals. Obviously, I have my wardrobe, right? Like my personal wardrobe. But even that, I don't care if I sell it. I'd rather sell it. There's a few things that I wouldn't sell. Like I have a pair of 1994 black and red Jordan 1s.
Right.
I would.
I've never seen you.
I don't wear them as much anymore just because, just the Jordan 1 hype is kind of like, it's kind of dead. And not in like me following trends. I've had that shoe for like, I've always had a pair of 94 red 1s for like 10 years now, like probably more. So I've always had the shoe and I love that shoe. But my pair I wouldn't sell just because it's like, well, what's the point? That shoe is like so worn in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I sell it, it's gonna be for cheap.
Right.
So there is some things that I wouldn't sell just because there's no point.
Cheap for real or like cheap
Yeah.
relatively?
Well,
yeah, because like
it's cooked then, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. They're cooked to me.
Right.
I cooked them, so it's like at this point, if someone was to realistically want to buy them, they'll offer me $200, and I'm like, I'd rather just keep them at that point, you know.
Okay.
But there is some things that I definitely want to keep. I think denim. Once you find like a really good pair of denim, you need to keep it. Like the pair that I'm wearing right now is actually one of my favorite pairs of jeans. It's some vintage 505s. They fit me perfect, so I wouldn't sell them.
Size, waist, and length?
32, and I think inseam is like 28 or something like that.
Okay.
So
salvage?
no, just 90s Levi's. I think they're orange tabs, so But nah, I'm definitely more in the mindset of sell everything, because I mean we get like 100 years if we're lucky alive. You're not gonna fucking wear everything you come across, and I came across so much clothes that to me there's no point. Like I would sell the shirt that I'm wearing. I will list it, and if it sells, it sells, and if not, I'll get to wear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm more of that mindset. There's actually this guy on eBay who kind of changed my perspective. My homie Lewis put me onto him, and basically he sells everything. He's like the #1 eBay reseller called Tekken Sports. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
But he's like the #1 eBay reseller. He has a YouTube channel too, but he's grinding. He sells everything, and it's like he doesn't care about the price. Like the idea of grails, like when you go to a resale shop and you see like a $1,000 t-shirt, right? He's like, well, if you go to my shop and I have it at $1,000, if you offer me like 400 or 300, I'm gonna tell you, take it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what's the point of holding on to something if your job is to sell?
Yeah.
Like if your job is to be a store, what is the point of you hoarding it for maybe the opportunity of someone buying it for 1,000?
Right.
Which it might happen, but it might take a while.
The thing is though, why even put it at that price if it's such a grail piece? Like obviously there are people who spend $800 or whatever on some hyped up grail, but like if at the end of the day someone walks in the store, they're not gonna buy it at that price, then why even price it at that way?
I think most people do it just because of market price. Because you see others price it for that much.
But you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Because especially that, well, not, yeah, like I get it. Like he's gonna sell that regardless, and that's good.
Right.
But like, why not the realistic price?
I think I guess from his perspective as the seller, it's like it attracts people. It's like a piece to gawk at. You know what I mean? Like,
especially nowadays, because a lot of things is kind of like it became a lot about the price more than whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like for shoes at least, it was like, well, what's your most expensive shoe? Like, when it's not ever, it was never about that. It's just like, what's your favorite shoe? Like,
what do you like?
right. And then also to the price point, some people just like, there's sellers who just price, like if they like something a lot, like they're gonna price it over market and like just because they're attached to it. And sometimes other people feel this, like they feel that same I guess energy, and like that's how stuff goes
for a lot.
Yeah, it starts going up,
Right.
especially in vintage, because I feel like in streetwear it feels a little different just because it's all new. But eventually it will turn vintage, and then that's kind of like how like you have to manage that, like, oh, it's just gonna be good. It could be like now it's worth a lot, and then the next 5 years it's gonna be worth nothing, or the opposite. It's just worth 10 times as much.
Yeah.
So it's just it's also how you see grail. Like, what do you think? What do you think is a grail?
Yeah.
What do you see as a grail? Like, how do you, when you in your head, when you're like, oh, that's a grail. Like, what is a grail to you?
I mean, if we're just saying like vintage specifically,
Anything really, yeah.
Anything really? It really just goes down to what I like.
Right.
Like it's just how much do I like it?
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of shirts priced for like a lot. I'm like, oh well, that's cool, but I don't care.
Right.
And like to go to that point of like people are super attached to their clothes. That is true. I mean, I've been guilty of that for sure. But I think in the last couple of years, it's like my perspective on clothes has changed a lot, and I think a lot of it has to do with the economy. Because it's like, what is the point of me holding on to this shirt? I have so many shirts. Like literally, I have like hundreds of shirts. There is no point in me, like
Being a bunch.
yeah, obsessing over it or like being like, oh no, I can't sell you this. It's a grail. I love this shirt. Hey, come on, bro. I'm gonna find another shirt. Like there is so much clothes on this planet. We are just gonna eventually find something cool again.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm definitely in the ethos of like, just sell it. Just get rid
It's
of
in
it.
phases, right? Do you feel like that's how you do it? Like in
Yes.
phases, like, oh, well, no, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah, for sure. And like when it comes to like my personal like stuff that I have in my closet, I definitely don't do a lot of that of like oh, I haven't worn this in a while, let me get rid of it. Or I used to wear this but I don't really like it no more. I can make some money off of it. Let me just sell it.
I want to ask about your shirts and the selection process of like, what is a Danny shirt? What's an Outfit Simoy shirt? Because they're, to me, if I'm gonna answer the question, I would say they're like, what the fuck is that? Is that like someone's washing the dishes?
Yeah, she's washing the dishes in there.
Oh, for real? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
She'll be okay.
because I would describe it as like kind of activist, kind of, I don't know, a little bit of like punkish vibe, but like there's also some like minor hype to it because I saw like a Nike ACG running shirt, and that's got like kind of some of those elements I'm talking about. How would you describe that process?
I think you're pretty much on the right path of it. I think for me, I just go off graphic wear. Like I like a good. I mean, to me, a vintage shirt it has to have good wear in it.
Right.
It has to be worn in nicely.
There's two spectrums there, right?
Yeah.
There's people who want a crispy vintage
yeah.
shirt, and sometimes it's like I've had it where like people like would rap. They're like, oh, I like this, but it's not distressed enough, or like
Yeah.
it's not faded. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like, and then there's people like, oh, it's like crispy, like
Yeah,
oh.
it can go both ways
Right.
because
That's interesting to me.
I've sold like literally brand new vintage shirts for a lot, and then I've sold like super like worn beat vintage shirts for a lot too. So that's definitely there. But I think where just a good graphic, or not even, sometimes I like plain shirts too. I guess it just like it kind of goes back to what I'm saying. It's like, would I wear this? Could I see someone wearing this? Like, I don't want to just sell BS to people. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be like something that they're gonna keep for at least a while.
Yeah.
Or like something that will hold its value to them. You know what I mean? Because that's what it comes down to. I keep, sometimes I forget like, oh, this is clothes that people are gonna wear for a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, once I put that into perspective again, I'm like, yeah, I could see this being sold back to someone else or passed on or whatever.
Because there's a shirt I bought from you, that Union shirt,
Oh yeah,
and it's like,
the Unite one, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
it just Unite on the chest.
yeah.
I would wear that like forever,
Yeah.
and it's like only the neck thing that's bothering me. But graphic itself, selection itself, I love like the fade of it on the black. It's a really good shirt.
It was super soft. Like,
Yeah.
like the feel of it is soft. The fit of it is nice too. It's like a boxy XL.
Yeah.
I love that shirt a lot. It's like it's good, simple graphic. That's what I like. I like things that are wearable, and like for vintage too. A lot of people like look for specific niches, right? Like some people like NASCAR, sports. Some people like movie tees. Random shit,
Right.
brands. I like to get a little bit of everything. Like, it doesn't matter what's the category. Like, if I think it's cool and like you could wear it, I'll. That's how I pick it and choose to sell it.
For sure. And you kind of mentioned like, okay, wearing jeans, wearing shoes that you feel like you're gonna wear forever. How many pairs of shoes do you have?
I think at this point, maybe like, if I do a quick math guesstimate, maybe like 40 to 50.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because you be pulling up in random ass sneakers. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the question. Is like, you pulled up in some Jown Vans and some Supreme
Oh,
Clarks. Yeah, I mean, you love those shoes.
Yeah, I do.
and the Mero Moabs. Am I right about that?
The wait, which ones?
Mero Moabs.
It's a Mero like Cadet Quest 4, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh, the Meros. See, I forget. I've been having so
Okay.
much. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Those like
I
hiking
guess it-
shoes, right?
Yeah, like the hiking boot things. Yeah. You're right.
Google search is not filming on that one. For you, what's the shoe picking process for finding one that's low key, but upon further inspection is kind of just
A
fly?
sleeper?
It's a sleeper fly
Is it a
shoe.
heater.
Yeah.
Man, I think I just have like what's like a classic silhouette. Like right, like today I pulled up in some German army trainers by the brand Novesta. It's like a brand from like somewhere in Eastern Europe. They've been making shoes since like the 1900s. They were one of the first factories that were also making the Gat before like Adidas and before like Puma and those kind of brands. So I think right now I am definitely way more like thoughtful about my shoe purchases. Like I think it goes back to the vintage and wardrobe thing too, because it's something that I have to like see myself wearing for a while, or like some purpose. You know what I mean? Like do I have a pair of like hiking boots? Do I have a pair of regular boots? Do I have a pair of dress shoes?
So you categorize it then.
Yeah, like
For it.
yeah. Like I definitely look at utility more. Like compared to 10 years ago, I was just buying, whatever was hype. Not whatever was hype, but
I mean, kind of, because I was like to an extent, and then at some point you kind
I
of
guess so.
you start graduating, right? You start graduating in
Yeah.
thought process. You're like, oh, well, like actually, like I don't really like these,
Yeah,
I like actually like I like this model with this colorway, and then because this collaborator, and then you look at that collaborator, and then they collab with other people, and you just get into the spider web of things, right?
I was collecting. That's
Yeah.
what it was. I was collecting.
I mean, for sure, 40 pairs of shoes.
But I feel like I feel like it doesn't change even like now it's just
I guess in the sense of like today, I collect the things that I can see myself getting utility out of and wear. And once I cook them, I'll get another pair or whatever, right? But like as opposed to like back then, I was collecting just for the sake of collecting. Like literally, I had all the OG Jordan 13s or 11s or 12s or like I need the Fire Red 3s because I have the True Blues. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was that
yeah,
thing.
it was on that level of like just collecting for the sake of being a collector. But then I do feel that I grew out of it eventually.
Yeah.
And like now I'm more selective with what I like to rock. That's to be comfy
Right.
too.
Right.
At the end of the day,
Well, What do you think about, so going back to like the German army trainers you have, what do you think about like that line being kind of diluted? Like as in, I mean, but it's, there's that company making it. You said that's the first ones that made it before Adidas, but now there's Adidas, there's the hard copy ones, that came out. Then there's the Margellas, and then like so many other brands now. Like why is it like that? What do you think that all this is going? Because there was a time where like the Adidas one was cool. There was a time where the Margiela was cool,
Right.
and then there was a time where this other one was cool, and like now it's like the original one is cool. Like, is that just what everybody is? This like, do you just feel like we're in a reset because we're going back to the originals of everything?
I definitely do feel that way. I do feel like style, obviously, y'all know it's cyclical. Like things just go and come back and shit. But I think for silhouettes like that, like the Gat is just like the timeless shoe silhouette. I mean, it serves its purpose. It's like an everyday shoe.
Yeah.
You can put that shit on with everything. So I think in that sense, yes, it is diluted because there is so many brands. Even today, like there's more brands popping up every day making their own Gat.
Right.
But I guess they do serve a purpose in the sense of introducing a really cool silhouette to just the general public. Because, I mean, even y'all, like when y'all go out, how many people do y'all see wearing Gats?
No one.
Like Margellas or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely like
on the day-to-day.
slim, yeah.
I definitely see that Gat silhouette becoming like a bigger thing in the next year or so.
I do think that like you start seeing the mainstream. When you go, what do you see most, right? I see. So I work at the Galleria, so it's like I see a lot of international. Yeah, I get a lot of people like different like niches. To put a word on it. The Veja brand, the Veja brand.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like with the V.
The runner, right?
Yeah. So that kind of almost feels like the mainstream version of a Gat.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that. That's why I think that's kind of how they interpret it. The people there. They a lot of people don't look at things, and I mean really we're a small percentage of the buyers
Yeah.
in the world. You know, we're very, very picky. And
Yeah.
other people are just like, oh, I like this one.
Exactly.
Buy and buy. That's why you see a lot of those. You see a lot of sambas, which is, I mean, again,
It's basically kind of like a gap.
yeah. I
in a
mean,
sense.
so I just think that it's interesting to see that on day to day, basis, and how it kind of is evolving. Because a couple of years ago, it was just it was like we have the filas, remember, like the big old, and then it's like the Balenciaga,
Yeah, the
stompers. So like
Talking about the disruptor.
they're dropping. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
the stompers.
yeah, they're
Okay,
disrupting everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Disrupting my life.
Okay, because that's an interesting point you bring up about like a reset, but I don't really see it as a reset. What I see it as, like, you know how there's just a shit ton of Air Force collaborations, and it's just because like the Air Force is such an iconic shoe.
Right.
So like the GAT is just a shoe that wants to be replicated, and that like it's also has to do. And I was gonna ask this question too, because you're starting to see discourse about, okay, we're out of sneakers, we're into like menswear, we're into boots, we're into loafers and shit like that.
I mean, we are though.
No,
because there are people who just do that, like Lauren,
right?
Like he has like 1 or 2 pairs of sneakers
Fitting in row. Shout out to the homie.
fitting him now.
Fitting in now.
Yeah. And so like there are people like that, right? But then the GAT is a shoe that kind of blurs the line between a formal shoe and a sneaker. And so I just think that's kind of the moment right now, is like a bridge to it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, you can wear it dressed up or dressed down.
Yeah.
So that's why it works.
So I think that's what we are. Then if we're not there yet, at least some of us are, or some people are, right? Like into that reset, like you said, like a dress shoe. Like eventually every time you just see more and more brands, you just start seeing more menswear brands, like, oh, like the plaid on this one, the zippers on this one. That's what that's what all menswear is at the end of the day,
It's
like
basically it's basically new age streetwear.
Yeah,
it's because like the way you're saying, like how like there's more menswear brands popping up. It's like 10 years ago there was like streetwear brands popping up. You know what I mean? Like it's basically the same shit.
So it's just different
style, I guess.
But can we talk about how streetwear is an overused term, and like, okay, because we're talking about streetwear, but like what it actually is like skatewear. It's urban shit, like,
right.
And so to describe menswear as streetwear, to me it doesn't make sense, because it's like, okay, we're like skaters really rocking this like that.
Is Amy Leon Dore streetwear?
That's kind of what the conversation I want to have.
What is it? Yeah, you mean what is the class?
I think it's a blend. Like you said, it's a bridge.
That's a safe answer.
Yeah. Okay, then if you want me to say yes, if you want me to say yes,
I don't want you.
Yes. If you want me to say yes, because I don't see it as like fully menswear, and the opinions that I get from friends like Brian and Kevin, they say like, okay, quality, the actual pieces, they're okay to wear, but like, it's not.
What do you mean okay to wear though? Like,
they're like not. There are better brands you could buy, essentially.
Right, but that's anything. That's anything, anywhere.
Okay, but so to that point, like streetwear, right? Like when I think streetwear, I think of like shit you actually rock in the street. No.
But we're not in the streets. Also,
Houston. Unfortunately, we're not in the streets like that. We're on the streets.
That's what I'm
fixed on the weekends.
We're in the freeway.
But I mean, like people, yes. But like people like in Houston and New York, who like, I mean, Houston, people in New York or like Mexico City or like these kind of cities where you're walking everywhere. Like in New York, like people are walking the streets in like suits.
Yeah,
right.
Like suits and like these full like tailored shirts, and they are in the streets. But I get what you mean. I mean, that's still menswear, but it's like, I guess traditional streetwear.
Yeah. What?
Because I believe that a word can evolve and transform, right. And it already has. Because everyone could say like, I mean, there are media outlets that call streetwear like you just wearing a hoodie. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that's what Supreme did. Kind of like Ralph Lauren made the polo like a staple. Like Supreme made a hoodie like that. The face of streetwear.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren is kind of Polo's kind of streetwear too, but people wouldn't call it that.
Right. And Supreme, I mean, Supreme is just, the range is crazy, you know, like they sell suits and then they
Yeah,
sell
they
like
do.
a box logo.
Yeah. They sell box logo suits.
Like, what the fuck?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm no,
I don't think
but,
so.
but
No,
I'm
I
sure
haven't-
one day they will though.
Well, there we go.
One day they will though.
James.
I know you're watching. But yeah, I mean, the lines are blurred for sure at this point.
Right.
But I guess it's
I
just
like that.
I think
I like that. I like that.
Literally what he said. But I think streetwear is just like it's evolved so much. I mean, streetwear back then it was literally some random person in his house putting a little logo on like a t-shirt and you know, that's what it is. Like the hundreds, FTP,
Right.
all these cool brands.
I think that's like that's still they are still just streetwear, right?
Right.
Like brands like that, maybe Obey,
Mhm.
fucking awesome, you know,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're just true to that, and that's it.
Palace.
Palace, of course.
Palace. I think
So-
recently they've started to cook a little different. You know, I've past couple years
Use a
I
different
almost-
oil.
A little bit.
soybean.
Different oil.
Not soybean oil.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like I think they honestly like there's like Palace's best year is like better than Supreme's like mid year.
Yeah.
You know,
so.
like as of in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I guess real quick, I do like Palace a lot. I do like a lot of the stuff they do, but compared to Supreme, like every Supreme season, I'm like, I'll buy at least 2 or 3 things, right?
Mhm.
But with Palace, I don't feel the same.
Mm.
But they are cool though in what they do. But I would say Palace is definitely still more streetwear though.
Just waste, man.
Yeah, just waste man.
Okay. Somebody go smoke that you.
That's Canadian.
I know, but we're talking about
We in America.
what is a waste man? It's not from
English, bro. I can't understand what you're saying.
Whatever.
Waste.
All right. With that, we'll take a little break. So we'll catch y'all in a minute. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the show. Danny, why is Rick Owens such a mood to you?
Whoa.
You want me to be
Whoa.
serious or funny?
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Yeah.
Rick is a mood, low key though. I saw his recent interview. I forgot with who.
The girl he's laying down.
Yeah,
couch.
the therapist session or whatever.
Mhm.
He was basically saying how
Find a name.
V-necks are for guys with like nice big chests.
Okay.
I'm like, I feel that because it just goes back to like his like how he feels and sees fashion. It's like, oh, you shouldn't be buying clothes if you're not like comfortable with like your body shape, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? I can see that.
Okay. I mean, I don't like V-necks either.
I like V-necks. I love V-necks,
Yeah.
but it's not socially acceptable.
Hmm.
Definitely not. Not for me.
I wear I found a double RL V-neck, like thrifted,
Okay.
and I wear it a lot.
I don't notice.
Yeah,
But that's the thing about V-necks is like all I think of is unfashionable guys.
it's the people think of like the super deep V-necks.
And
Yeah.
Chelsea boots and skinny biker jeans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with like the brunch hats and shit.
They're,
Oh yeah.
they're elongated, right? Like
Elongated.
Elongated. There we go.
With
Bro,
the little side zippers and shit.
There is a guy, a regular at Toot Sweet, that dressed just like that.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't cool with him.
What's his ethnicity? No. Oh well.
Next question. Nah.
No, but yeah, Rick is cool. I mean, I think the way that people look at it, like I get it. I get why people fan out over that shit. There's like the new Rick fans, the old Rick fans, right? And then like there's like the actual Rick fans, like the ones that just wear that shit.
Whoa.
Just you know.
I feel like his stuff is like hard to wear though. Like if you're not wearing other Rick, like you can only wear Rick if you have more Rick.
I think you're right. I think you can only wear Rick if it's all you wear, literally head to toe, or if you mix it.
With like what?
Like let's say you rock like some Rick jeans with like some other shit.
Yeah. Well, the jeans is more like the dark shadow stuff,
Yeah.
right? So like that's supposed to be that, you know,
Yeah.
a lot more wearable.
Your
His
everyday
main,
shit.
his main line is just like
Yeah, the dark shadow's like his essentials line pretty much.
yeah,
At what point does it get corny?
not
though?
essential price though.
Corny?
Yeah.
Well, that's all subjective.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm asking
Because
you.
it kind of already is for some people.
I think it's corny when like hot take. I think it's corny when
Talk
like
to a take.
facts.
Yeah.
I think it's corny like they be there's that meme. There's that meme. You wear your Rick so much they turn into Mortys. like where they wear the Ramones all the time, or like, you know what I mean? But I don't blame them though. I get it.
I
Everyone,
mean, they're expensive. So.
yeah, Rick is expensive as fuck, and you just want to try a new style, a new brand. Like I get it.
I always feel like if someone's making a meme of it, that means it's really really good.
Right.
Like you can't meme something that's bad, you know?
Yeah. No, Rick's
So,
harmless.
Right. So especially like his like the leather, like the Ramon and stuff like that. You said Rick. I just think it's it that means it's good, but I do think that people are starting to move on from that.
Yeah.
And like everything, like when you're moving on, there's some timeless stuff that stays back, you know, that
For
can
sure.
always be there. So
For sure.
and that's just kind of like subjective, like you said, person to person.
Yeah, to like the non-Rick hacks, like the people that aren't just wearing that shit
Like
head
Gunna.
to toe. Yeah, like every
You know that gonna fit
Oh, literally. Like
Who dressed up like him for Halloween?
Rihanna.
No, Tiana Taylor, wasn't it? Or was
I
it
thought it was Rihanna.
I think it was Rihanna. Should we confirm?
You're right. Yeah. No, it's okay. But but yeah, like to the non-Rick heads, like you just wait. Yeah, like you get a couple pieces from them, and you know keep that in your wardrobe forever. Man, there's like a few Rick pieces that I regret selling. I used to have the OG like Rick.
You going back on your statement now?
What do you mean?
You say you didn't like you didn't care.
Yeah, but I do miss them sometimes. But like for example, I had a pair of the OG Rick Dunks in the milk colorway.
Where?
Like super dope, good wear. I think I got them from a homie from New York because he had two pairs, and the pair he sold me didn't fit him, so I bought them for like $300. This was like 5-6 years ago.
They used to go for like,
Bro. I mean they do. I wore them a lot. I got my good wear out of them. I got some good pics off of them too, but I put them on Grail for 2,000 and someone bought them ASAP.
What?
So that's what I'm saying.
they
like,
go for so much now.
yeah. So
Was it before the Nike suit, like the ones that, because it's you know how there's ones that the Geo basket.
Yeah.
They were Geo baskets, right? Or
no, these were the OG Dunks.
like the ones that look like the ones,
Nike ones.
right? So
Yeah.
those go for like
yeah.
they might even go for like 6-7 now.
Shit, my pair was cooked too. Like
Don't quote me on that.
I cooked them hard, so like the fact that someone paid 200 after fees, I'm like, I mean 2,000 after fees, I'm like, okay, whatever.
You said 2,000 or 1,000?
They got to steal.
2,000.
Maybe they got to steal.
How do you like get that amount of sum like from one transaction off of that app? Like, is it anything different than if someone bought something for 50?
It's the same shit.
That's crazy.
It's the same shit.
I can't imagine it. First of all, I can't imagine paying it on like Grailed, and then also I can't imagine like getting it.
It feels fake almost on Grailed.
Sometimes it does.
Like it's like are these? Is any of this real? You know.
Yeah.
Well, now it's even more because you got people drop shipping stuff. You know. Like, you see like why do you have 60,000 items for sale? Like no way. You know.
Not all the shit.
No way.
Probably
Right.
backdoor that.
It's funny y'all say that because I've come across accounts on Grailed that are drop shipping me and my friends' items that we post on Depop.
What?
I swear, like,
Yeah.
How would they do that?
They literally just take screenshots of your shit, post it on their listings,
For more.
and then I guess they lowball you or something like that, or I don't know how it works exactly.
Yeah, I think what it is like, you know, if I was one of them, I would screenshot their post, do the math on how much it would be like outright, like if I buy it, and then sell it for just screenshot, make us the same post and probably even the same bio sometimes, you know, same caption, and then post it on different platforms. And they're kind of doing it almost, it's like a proxy service almost, you know?
That's basically what it is. It's a proxy service and like a curation service.
No, but
In
are
a
they really
sense.
curate? Yeah, I mean curating, but like
In a sense, it's like they're just like screenshotting shit they like too. They're like, I could flip this because this guy got this like for
that's
this price.
crazy.
Isn't that diminishing returns though? I mean, at some
No,
point
but-
you're not gonna get it like.
Well, that they're only gonna buy your product if
They know
it sells,
money
or if it sells on another platform.
But it doesn't make it.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't make sense to me because, like, he could just do that like himself.
But that's the thing. That's probably search it up and they're like, oh, he only has it listed here.
Okay,
So then
that's the
they're
only
like,
reason I think it would make.
they're
sense.
kind of helping you in a way.
Yeah,
Like if it sells, yeah.
Because like for me, like yeah, in the sense they kind of don't do that to me though. Don't please. But like in the sense they are kind of helping in because like I mean I get shit for
consistent.
cheap. I get shit for so much cheap. So it's like if you like you know double my sell, I don't care. Like, do
Buy from
whatever you
him,
want.
guys.
Huh?
You don't care if you don't care if you get low broed.
Not really. I mean I can tell people like no.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't have to.
Wait, do you pick and choose sometimes when you sell stuff? Like if there's because there's times where I'm selling stuff and like the way I see it, I'd rather sell it for a little less to a real customer that might come back if I give him a good experience than to a reseller that he can make more money. Like he can give me a little more, but he's gonna flip it for more because he has maybe whatever it may be, like a bigger clientele, whatever.
And then you give him a hug. You're like, please come back.
Right, but like then I'm not getting anything out of that, really, because I'm not growing
I
in
think
that way. Do you see it that way at all?
I have before, but I think the way I see it now is like it goes back to the thing that we talked about earlier. Like, do I want to like sell this or do I want to hoard this shit? And like for me, I rather just sell it. Like it doesn't. The way my friend put it too, my friend Lewis from Illusion, it's like
Illusion.
shout out to him. It's like whatever I do with it after I buy it from you, you shouldn't even worry about whether I sell it, wear it, or whatever. Like, who cares?
That's not your business.
It's none of my, yeah, and that's true. I mean, it's very true. It's like after you take it from me for my price, because I didn't have to sell it to you for that price. I didn't have to say yes to your offer. So it's like whatever you do with it, it's on you. Shit, I made my money. If you can make money, good for you. That's how I see it too. And that kind of goes back to the selling grails or whatever thing. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that just depends, like seller to seller, because like is how you're sourcing it. If you're getting so much volume out of it, like me, I'm very like I try to be very I really think about every single thing I'm buying. So it's like I want it to be at the end home when I sell it.
No, I feel you.
And it's like I'm not seeing a lot of these things. There's like maybe rare stuff that you don't really ever see. So you want it to end up in someone's hands who's gonna wear it themselves instead of selling it. Which I mean, you just at least appreciate, I guess.
Yeah.
And then kind of have an idea of who you are and like kind of want to be like a stylist of some sort,
Yeah, I mean that is what you're doing. Like as a seller, you're styling, curating the wardrobe, right?
Yeah.
I think even for me though, like people assume that like get so much cool stuff all the time regularly when that's not even true. Like I can go weeks sometimes without even finding anything good. Or or sometimes I have to work really really hard for it. I mean most of the time I do because it's not as often that I find something really good. And even when I find something good, maybe the max I sell something for is like 30 to 20 bucks. So it just really depends. It's like that's why I try not to think too much about it, about what people do with it. Like if I'm selling to someone who's gonna wear it or a reseller, I try not to think about it because it's like
you're scaling. You're trying to scale. I mean, it goes back to that point.
Trying to make that money now. You know what I mean? Like let me make that sell right now.
Yeah. I mean, when I've sold my like shirts or like personal, because I'm not a reseller, but I sold you those shirts I was gifted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how much are you gonna sell it for? But it's out of curiosity because like obviously I want to get rid of them. I don't care if you like triple the price. And the same thing with like Brian at Union, or I think it was Gabby. Yeah, Gabby, Piece 2 Vintage.
Yeah.
And so he was like trying to buy something off me that I bought from Roundhouse, and I was like, oh, just out of curiosity, like how much are you gonna like sell it for? And he was like, probably like $20 more.
Right.
Like, okay.
I mean, and that's the reality too, because like when I feel like when someone with the store specifically is buying something, a lot of them do pay up because they kind of have to because they have a store, they have like that image of like, oh, they're established, right? So a lot of them do pay up, and they maybe make like a $20 to $50 profit. Honestly, realistically, like a $20 profit sometimes. Just depends on what it is. But they do that because they want to have that cool item in the store.
Yeah.
And no one else is gonna have it. Like the rarity, like super specific vintage stuff, I guess you could say. Like no one's gonna have it. And like the same with the shirts that I got from you. Like even those shirts, like they were good shirts, but it took me a little bit to sell them. And when I did sell them, like it wasn't like a crazy profit, but it was good. It was good enough for me, you know what I mean? To make it worth it.
For sure. I got another question. I was waiting for like the lull, and then it came all of a sudden.
The what?
The lull? You never?
Oh, the laugh?
No, low, like the low point of the conversation.
Oh, okay.
You never heard of that?
Nope.
Like lullaby, I think that's where it comes.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Sounds German.
All that.
All right. So, So you bought from, I would say, like small starting out brands, like Conemore Studios and Désolé Atelier. Um, so what would you say is like, in your opinion, a good starting out brand compelling enough for you to buy and support?
Like a specific one.
Like, okay, so like I said, those are starting out brands, right?
Right.
And like they don't really have the cachet or the rapport with you to be like, oh, this is like a Supreme company or like a whatever company. So like what about those brands do they have to do to compel you to buy and support?
Okay. I think it's just me seeing them do something different that I don't see often. Like in terms of like the everyday shit that I see in person and online. And I think what's cool for me from those buying experience with those two brands you mentioned, I really like them because I got to meet the owners of the brands. And one of them's from here, from Houston, and the other one is from LA when I met him at Complex Con in Vegas. I think it's cool because getting to talk to them and hear their thought process and hear like their ideas for their brand is really cool because they're a small brand, you know, they're making everything themselves. And I like to support people who, you know, I think everyone kind of feels that way. Like you want to support someone who's doing something cool, you know what I mean? And obviously they're not popping like that yet. But also too, like it has to be unique enough, and obviously I have to like it for me to like buy it, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna just buy BS just to support, you know what I mean? There's a lot of brands, and you know, shout out to them here in Houston, but I don't really like a lot of them. Unfortunately, I just don't see myself wearing, so I'm not gonna spend money on something I'm not gonna wear.
Yeah.
So to me, if I see something that I think is different enough and I like it, I'm gonna, you know, support it a lot because I think it's important to support what you like and what you think is cool, and you know the people that are coming up with you. Because I think when you come up together, I think that's the only way to like build like something new, like a different era or like a different, you know, movement, I guess you could say.
Okay.
If any of that makes sense.
So I mean, just different enough than what's going on already.
Yeah, because like I think there's like a zeitgeist of what is like in the mainstream.
Yeah.
Like you know what's like
Cool.
cool, what's everywhere, or like what's
I know what we're talking about with the shoes, right? You kinda, and then even with like now, like you just see brands, and you're like, oh, like that's cool. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's how I think at least that's the perspective a good reseller has. You know, like they can just look at something like, okay, that's cool. Like this is
See the vision.
There we go.
Like when I was working at Shannon's Street Waves, the skate shop.
Shout out
The skate shop, yeah,
Shannon's.
rest in peace. The skate
Rip.
shop in
Arrows.
Yeah, Arrows only. When I was working there, I was an employee and I was also able to sell my stuff on consignment. So at that time, this was like probably 2015, 2016. So I was selling a lot of Supreme in there because Supreme wasn't accessible in that time here in Houston. And I was also bringing Palace. I was buying stuff from Palace when their website was only in the UK. So I was like paying, you know, that shipping from the UK here just to sell it at that shop. But then I was also bringing other cool brands. Like there was this brand called Dime from Montreal, Canada. There was Babylon from LA. There was Utmost, which is like a homies brand from Round 2 Hollywood at the time. So I was actually like picking out all these brands to buy and then resell at this skate shop, and they would resell. Like people liked it. So I think it's just like I said, I think it's just like what you like. I think when people see what you like and what you're pushing, I think people will appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like,
so I have a follow up to that. So obviously, because you just brought it up in that example, resellers curate what the community can buy because it was what was accessible, right?
Right.
But do you think consumers are also curating?
No, I don't think.
You don't think consumers like buy themselves, like because you are a consumer and you are a reseller.
Right. I'm both.
So like you are still at the same time saying, okay, this is just cool for me, and I don't need to like put everyone on.
I think consumers can be curators, but not all of them are. I think most consumers are just consumers. They don't even realize that they're curating to their wardrobe or to their style.
Yeah.
It's just the thing you do because you buy something because you like it, but you're not really putting too much effort into it like the way we would, right?
Right.
So it's different in that sense. But I think resellers are definitely you can be like a tastemaker, a gatekeeper in a way, in a sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what we are. I mean, we pick out the certain things that we like, and then we tell the consumers, "Hey, this is cool. You should buy this."
Mhm.
I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think yeah, he's right. Like, and like everyone's a reseller. Like you think like a big like one of my favorite stores ever is like Dover Street, you know?
Yes.
I don't know if you ever walked into a Dover Street, like it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
You were in there and everyone kind of expresses themselves. So every brand you can see like what they're about. And I think we're going back to that just because you was talking about Shannon's, which I had just forgotten the name, but that's what it was, where Arrows was, right? And I remember going in there when I was a kid, like 15, 16, and like just like seeing all these brands that I never seen like in person. You know, it was hard back then in Houston, at least.
Yeah, there wasn't many
if you're,
places to
yeah, there's and or even content, anything. There was nothing, right? It was really hard. You really had to like like it,
Yeah.
really like it to find the spots. And I think that people like we're going back to that where you were bringing brands, like all those brands, you were buying them for retail and then selling them here for a little more, you know. And people are starting to see it that way again with all these new brands coming up. You're like, there's so many going on that you kind of have to like, if you, the people who are hopping trends don't even know where to look anymore, and you're starting seeing them stay behind. You know, you're wearing like those, per se, like the baggy jeans with the Timbs. You know, like what's next? You know, what's the new silhouette? And I think that's where people like us come in, because we are picking and choosing the things we like, and then you don't have to buy from me, but you can buy from him because you know he has a slightly different taste, and you maybe resonate with him a little more.
I think you brought up a really good point. Actually, it's something I just thought about because it's like that's true. Because I mean, there's so much to consume, whether you get on IG, TikTok, whatever, right? There's like so much available to you at your hands that you don't even know what to buy.
Yeah.
Or most younger people, I feel, even adults though, just get on Temu, Shein, these fast fashion brands, and like cool, you know. I mean, no, not cool. I don't support any of that.
You're trying to be
It's like,
agreeable right now.
Yeah,
I need you to be so vicious.
I don't support any of that.
Yeah.
But anyways, what I mean is like there's just so much overconsumption that, like you said, like you don't even know what they don't know what they want. They see it, they buy it because it's right there available to them. But like, do you really like this though? Like, are you gonna wear this in a week? Like, is your shirt gonna fall apart after a week in one wash? So I think tastemakers, resellers, you know, gatekeepers, I think it is important to an extent because we obviously through knowledge and experience have gained the ability to be able to tell you, hey, this is a good brand you should buy. This is, you know, this
is why, right?
A good piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
like rock this.
Right. And that's kind of like where I like where all this is headed, because I think this is kind of where people like us are gonna like bloom and
come up.
Yes, because like all the track record, and we're just kind of really into it, and
yeah, we're
gonna find you just naturally, organically are gonna find the next big thing without even noticing it. You know, you're just gonna look up one day like, oh yeah, well, like I like this, you know, because you gravitate towards it. And it shouldn't, I don't even think we should even like someone said resale is a new retail, which I think that's what it is now. And I think that resellers, like there's less and less resellers now, and there's more like they should there's more curators now. Like there's starting to be more curators where people are like noticing like, oh wait, well maybe I shouldn't just hop on trends. You know, there's no trend. The trendy thing now is that there's no trends, right? Whatever.
So there's no exact style or era to really like lock into. It's like when you like, to me, I call the current trend IG core.
I hate Instagram.
But there's IG
like,
core, and then there's TikTok,
brand.
and
No,
it's
I think
just,
it's Instagram now more though.
I think it is IG more.
Yeah, because
but
the
it has
Raspberry
been.
Hills brand, you know, stuff like that.
Hellstar.
Yeah, like
the baggy jeans
props,
on the
big
Timbs.
crazy. There we go. And
Yeah,
like,
the boxy
I mean, I'm at the,
cookies.
I work and I see that, and like all these new brands just do the same thing, different graphics, and like that's just wearing baggy jeans is just like wearing a box logo in like 2016.
And a Tim.
Yeah, there we go. Like that combination is just a box logo now.
Yeah.
And then you know what happens to the box logo? That's a whole different conversation. But like, I do think that like people are gonna.
What's the conversation? Go ahead.
Well, I think that the box, like a lot of people like used to. I remember people used to be like, "I thought Supreme only sold box logos." Like,
Who's
that? Just like it was like a common thing, you know?
Assumption.
Yeah, it was just there we go.
The
Like,
natural assumption.
I mean,
like,
you'll
see a cardigan, I'm like, oh, it's a Supreme, and it's like, oh, like I didn't know Supreme made cardigans.
Yeah.
Like this, and that's kind of where we're headed with that core, you know, where like it doesn't even matter as long as it's a baggy pant, and like there's nothing there for that. Like brands can just start, and the thing is that they're making a lot of money, so that's why it's like
that's why they don't stop.
Yeah, it's
that's
because
why
like that's why they keep making like I will not have these like the Trump pants now. It's a big thing, you know.
Which ones?
Trump, like where they look like they're like printed on.
Oh, like
you know,
the
like
Acme Studios
yeah, like
type of
yeah.
things.
So like brands like that.
That is a big thing.
You know, like
it's Trump.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
Trump,
like,
or something like I don't even know. I'm not French.
No, I'm saying it like it sounds a lot like Trump.
That's what I thought you were saying. Like
no, Trump. It's like TROMP.
Trompe.
Trompe. There you go. Trompe. Or
I don't even know
whatever. We get it. We get it.
Yeah.
But
it is a thing though.
Yeah, stuff like that is just becoming popular. I mean, I went into like Central Supply in right there on Westheimer.
What do you think of Central Supply?
Central Supply, I think there's no soul there.
Yeah.
Hot take.
There's no
That's
soul.
not, I don't think that's a hot take.
I'll be real though. I've never been there.
I went
Well,
once. Wait, that's the place next to the Container Store?
Yeah.
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 I've been in there.
Is this in the Galleria?
Yes, it is. It's
near
across the
Galleria.
street. Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
Well, I mean, it's just like the most expensive stuff, and
You know what's weird? I'm sorry.
they have vintage.
They have vintage, and they'll have like some random ass tee that like for sure has like anyone who's slightly into it knows is not worth $50.
But it's not for those people though. It's for the people who. I mean,
Yeah.
the Galleria. If you
That's
have a
for the-
store in the
that's for the-
Galleria,
yeah.
you
It's for casuals.
you have there we go, casuals.
It's for casual.
But it's still crazy. It's like this British
they're
person doesn't
selling
even
it,
know this
Yeah.
random ass T-shirt is
But
like $5.
You go in there and then you look, and I'm noticing that they're starting to bring like these Instagram brands in there, like Hellstar has been in
Yeah.
resale stores, but Raspberry Hill, I don't know, that's not even the name. It's RSVP Gallery, I think, if I remember right.
RSVP Gallery?
I think that's
the name of a store.
in Chicago, right?
That's the one that Virgil with Don
okay,
C.
but I think it's called RSVP. I don't know. We can search that up
Yeah,
later,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But anyway, Raspberry Hills, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You know, the Balenciaga copycat
You're
stuff
right,
like
though.
that.
I think there's like a different name to it, but yeah.
So, but Instagram core is that's it now. Like, and it just sucks because there's no like people like that's kind of dying, and there's nothing that is coming behind that where these people who trend hop are gonna hop into. So you just need to find these curators.
It's like fashion hit a wall.
There you go.
It's like it kind of hit a wall in a sense because I think for like the last, I mean, to be honest, Instagram has kind of been running and dictating fashion for like at least four solid years. Because when I think back of IG core, I think of the Carhartt double knees with the Jordan 1s with the distressed look on them, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then like a vintage tee and like
NASCAR tee.
So I think IG has really, like the Trump jeans. So I think IG has definitely been like dictating fashion, and it's the algorithm.
Right.
And I think it's kind of hit a wall because like now it's like, how many baggy jeans and perfect hoodies do we need at this point?
Hoodie fits me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everyone has a perfect hoodie.
Yeah.
I agree with y'all, but it's like when you think about what's trending on Instagram, like the Stussy 8-ball. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never seen a Stussy 8-ball in Houston.
No,
Really?
I have.
I've had a lot.
Okay, well maybe I'm not outside like y'all, but like you go to the Galleria, you're not gonna see it. What you see on Instagram.
It definitely depends. Well, okay, to that point, I will say that like the baggy jeans with like the Timbs and like the little tee, that is like the most accessible IG core fit. anyone can.
And I've
or-
never
or-
seen
I-
anyone
I've seen
here
that a
wear
lot.
jeans.
I think going back
I've
to the
seen that a
point,
lot.
earlier where we're just a small, like even though including those people, we're still really,
Right.
really, really small community.
Yeah.
You know, because you got to include the casuals and like the people who are like love it.
Do we? Do we have to include?
I mean, that's
And
what we're talking about.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you include them, it's like if we don't, it's even less, you know.
right.
But even with them, it's still like a very. But I mean, it's very small percentage of people. But I mean, when I'm in like the Galleria, I do see them. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
you
I
see those
see them a lot
brands.
more now.
you see those IG brands. all
Yes,
over
and then
the
you see, I'm like,
The IG brands and like the work
like
IG
you're
brands.
like, and you're walking like I'm walking down and I see someone far away and I'm like, is it Hellstar or is it just a regular?
Copycat.
You know,
copycat
and
star.
you know whatever hell you can talk whatever Hellstar, but
Look, I met the brand manager, the product manager for Hellstar at
Complex Con,
ComplexCon Vegas, and he was a really cool dude.
Complex Con.
Hey, I asked him, I was like, so how do you feel about because he's been with them for like, I think 4 or 5 years now. But he's been with them for a while. And now I even told him, I was like, how do you feel about like the sudden growth in like y'all's popularity and y'all style? He was like, because
Whoa.
I remember when they just
Question.
started. No, yeah.
He's like, bro, what are you talking about?
Hey, I
just so close.
I
just
I was
go to Illustrator
I was
one
how do you
day.
feel? Because I had him right there, so let me ask. So I was like, let me ask it, and he was like,
Good though.
he was like, honestly, it's crazy, but it makes sense. He was like, the reason why we blew up, our style blew up in that sense, is because we were connecting with everyone. Like they were like linking and building literally with
that's what I was gonna say
everyone,
earlier.
with other brands, with artists, with producers, with literally
They were reachable.
they were putting their product into the hands of the athletes, of literally everyone you can think of that's going to be seen on Instagram. They were putting their brands everywhere, and that's how they blew up. Because
That's
when you think
fake.
about it, it's really only been like 4 years of them like really being like out here like that.
But there's so many clips of like young brands that are like, oh, trying to get Kanye to wear my shirt.
Oh right,
And it's like, I'm sure Hellstar worked very hard to get
Right.
to where they were and whatnot. But also we don't know like
Right.
the full extent. But it's like, if that were the case, I think a lot more brands would be popping off as much as them.
Well,
You know what I'm trying to say?
but
I think it's more about they hit the design language right on the head.
yes,
Oh, there you go.
I think
That's
it's
what I'm saying.
yeah, you're right. No,
Yep.
you're right, because that has a lot to do with it, and also too, I think it's just how he said like they were just like being organic, trying to build with other people, and like
Is that organic though?
I mean, in the sense of like
I don't think. I think I would if I had a brand. The last person I wanted to use is an athlete.
Yeah, but I mean,
that means you're not doing. Something
everyone
right.
has different goals though.
Right.
You put it in the stylist hand, so then they could.
Yeah,
style
no,
it
that's
right.
what I'm saying, and that's what a lot of brands do well. They reach out to these stylists, like the people that you need to know, and they're like, oh,
Yeah, it's
here.
not really the athletes, right? It's always someone.
It's a stylist. It's really
their
just
brother.
yeah, or like someone they know. But I think to that point of like, oh, I'm trying to get Kanye to wear that's not gonna work. Like, you know what I mean? Like
That's fake. That's a like
that's forced. That's
Yeah.
not gonna.
Or an American Dream.
Yeah, in a sense, because like
You said a facade.
There we go.
Because like if I have like for me, like if I have a brand and I know a homie who's like, but he's my friend, like I actually know this guy, and like I'm like, oh, this is my shit, and he likes it and he wears it, and then it pops off. It's like, you know what I mean? It goes back to like Kendrick Lamar. People don't give him enough credit for Kendrick Lamar putting these brands on, because he goes back even to Rude. With Rude, Luigi made that bandana shirt. It's an all over print bandana tee. Kendrick liked
It's
it.
a button up, right?
No, it's just
Oh,
a regular
that's good.
T-shirt. He rocked it at some award show, and then Rude literally blew up from that shit. So
Oh, that's right. I don't remember that.
yeah, so in that sense, at that moment, Kendrick was known, but he wasn't who he is today, and so was and Rigi was nobody at that time. Nobody knew him.
He was
The Rude
scamming
brand-
on Grilled.
Yeah.
You know what that?
The Rude brand didn't even exist yet.
He was scamming on Grilled.
It was just him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, yeah, maybe you could say it's not organic, or maybe it is, but it really is just like how
But
you play the cards you're dealt.
there's almost a common theme between all the brands that are that made popular by like these type of like the
Mhm.
Artists.
artists. There
Yeah.
you go. These type of artists, like the Hailstars, the Ruse. Like
Mhm.
I'm not a big fan of neither of these brands. I mean they don't come to my mind right now, but you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
they're
come
all
on, man.
So
like there's a common thread between all these brands
Right.
that they're very like easily digestible and like
It is.
There's no meaning to a lot of these. Like, they asked the Hellstar guy what the meaning of his brand was, and he was just kind of making it up as he like, oh, this is the first time I get asked this,
Yeah, he's like, oh no, I never.
And
thought
even
about
if it was like,
Yeah.
I never thought, there's supposed to be a meaning. Like,
But see, that's
I mean, I'm kind of.
yeah, but that it goes back to that thing of like, well, what's your objective with this? Like, what do you want from your brand? Like,
they clearly want money.
exactly, and that's the same with Rude, with Hellstar, with Warren. I mean, Warren
There's no
Lewis,
fun in
kind
that,
of,
really,
like
I think.
Eric Emanuel, those kind of streetwear brands. Like, they know what they're selling you at this point. Like you should know.
They
what
don't
it
even
is.
wear it.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what it is. Like, either you buy it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see people wearing it. It kind of goes to like rappers in a sense, because a lot of rappers now, they just want to get famous to make some money and then do some other shit with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really an artistry to it anymore. Not with all of them.
Yeah.
Just with like the ones who make those like viral hits, I guess you could say.
Uh-huh.
It's like the same with like Traffic. Drake.
No. That is like that. It brings a brand to Fugazi. That you like? Okay, I hated them at first.
Why?
I hated those shoes that they made, and that's how they led
the
with
Jordan ones?
they led with that,
Yeah, they did.
But like they did that because they needed money to do all the cool stuff they're doing now, and like that's like just a new generation of things now.
That's one of those brands that I really like.
Yeah, it's because like and if like I didn't pay attention to them because of that, because I was like, oh, they just like
same.
Because at that time it was the Warren Lotas making all these shoes and just getting money. Remember there was like a little face of that, like the Dunks, the ones.
That was that IG core part,
right?
Like people were trying to make like Jordan 1's distressed look and shit.
Yeah,
like
but they would have changed the logo, like into fries, like Vandy.
Or yeah.
But I like Vandy the Pink.
But I had those too.
You did?
I had the burger shoes.
Oh,
I liked them, but I sold them.
Or like the Jason Voorhees.
I had those, I had those. I had 2 pairs, but like I was selling them. Like one sold, and then the other one I was stuck with for a long time.
But yeah, but I mean, sometimes you have to do what you have to do to get your brands
right.
Like...
And I get that, but I think that like Fugazi is just one of the only like maybe handful of brands. I can't think of any right now that actually like had that. Yeah, they care. Like. Like they did. I mean, they're at Dover Street. If Dover Street co-signs you, like you're good. Like Dover Street is not co-signing Hellstar or Regi. Like Rude.
Why?
Because like there's nothing there to co-sign.
That's like Saks Fifth, like scammer wear at this point, pretty much like Trap Star.
Yeah,
because if you go to because Saks Fifth is that store in the mall in the Galleria with all the cool brands, right?
Yeah, like Balenciaga.
Yeah, because that's basically what these brands want to be. Like they want to just sell this shit for a lot of money, and like it's easily digestible, like you said, to like people with money. So that's why they wear it.
It's like a fast track to like being
style. Yeah. To being stylish. Like, oh, I don't even gotta be stylish. I just gotta go into the Balenciaga store and cash out.
Yeah, that's what it is now. It used to be Off-White. It's Balenciaga, and I don't know what brand that would be. I mean, I think it's still kind of Balenciaga, but we're at the end of that. I think there might be another brand that but it has to be one of these household brands. I think because they already have the name recognition.
It's like, oh, he's rocking Rude.
Yeah, like it was like a whole thing, and I don't know where all that is headed though. That
I think that like part of luxury streetwear. I think eventually it will die.
Well, because that's the thing. Streetwear made luxury cool again and relevant in like just general, and so now Balenciaga is kind of like the
pinnacle.
Yeah, the pinnacle of streetwear and fucking
luxury,
young guys.
Yeah, young guys.
The youngsters.
Chavo rucos is what they call them in Spanish. The older guys who trying to look young. You know what I'm saying? Like you see the unks wearing the Balenciaga. Like Wiz Khalifa, he should not be wearing Balenciaga.
Yeah. I mean,
if he with only some stuff, but like the things they're putting him on, like
you're right, though.
the boots, it should be the camel shorts. You know what I'm saying?
It's like it's safe. It's like I mean it's just a safe shit to rock if you have money and if you really don't want to think too much about putting some shit on. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean that's why I feel like it's gonna eventually die because like you can only sell so much Balenciaga to like someone. You know what I mean? Like. You can only sell so much of it.
So many steroid boots.
Yeah, so many like bozo boots and shit like that until like someone's like, hey, like I don't need to buy any more of this or like you know what I mean? Like and also too with the economy, shit's just expensive. Like who's really like cashing out like that? I know there's rich people, but like realistically,
buying eggs.
The thing that rich people do is they're gonna go gravitate toward things that like poor people cannot even fucking fathom to touch.
Or they're trying to look poor.
Well, yeah, but
Whoa.
the thing is, like, okay, with the triple S's, like those who are god awful to anybody but the
I
rich
kind of like them
kids.
for like a sec.
I honestly, I kind of like them.
I think I liked them at first when they didn't make them as available as it was. Like, because a shoe like that there shouldn't be too many of them because it's just too crazy of a shoe, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, like experimental shit like that, I think should be limited, and not because like, oh, I want to have something no one else has, but like because like that's what it is. And like who was it? Rocky co-signed him. Remember, like the first person who wore them, and he made him cool. Like if they would have kept that colorway, and the colors also got really like crazy, like neons, like that was just
For which the triple S's?
yeah, the triple S's.
They just went crazy with
They're
it.
just going, and I think maybe that's what it was really. The colors were just terrible. At some point, I was just like, bro, like
The first colorways were okay.
the first one, the red one with the red
Like
blue
the
one.
black
Yeah,
or
that
the white
was
one with green and yellow and shit like that.
yeah, those were really good. But
I'm not gonna lie, I almost bought a pair, but
You almost did?
I'm happy I didn't though.
Yeah, okay.
I'm happy I
That would be a regrettable purchase.
because actually that's funny because I watched someone's video that said, "Oh, this is like like regrettable purchases." It's like, "Oh, thank God you didn't buy that shit." Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I mean,
That's
like,
those.
or for example, the golden gooses. Like Chelsea doesn't like those because they're made dirty on purpose. They made to look dirty, but of course we, like lower class people, might think that that's absurd. Like why the hell would you buy? Sorry, different tax bracket. Why would we buy a dirty looking shoe for however much?
Right.
So, yeah.
Why? Because it's cool.
All right, there we go.
Because you like it. You want to buy it.
Okay, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back.
Yep.
All right, we're back.
we're back.
We're gonna talk about Houston brands.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
This should
brother,
be a good one.
this guy.
Well, lead the way then.
Okay, I mean, I have my opinion, and that is
There is no style here. Houston is creatively bankrupt.
I'm talking more about the brands, but
Nah, Houston is
That's
creatively
it.
bankrupt.
We're done talking.
My thesis is that Houston creatives are their own worst enemy.
Whoa.
you're talking about me right now.
Well, no,
I'm like,
Other than you,
I'm
other
really
than you.
sensitive.
I'm talking about streetwear fashion brands, creatives. Not,
Oh.
not
Are
like,
you
not like.
are you talking about the Fitted Bros?
Excuse me?
The Fitted Bros?
What do you mean?
You know, Fitted.
No, it's like a whole
Streetwear.
separate thing. But I'm talking
It
about
almost kind of like mixes nowadays.
it all kind of does mix, but now I'm talking about more like when it comes to fashion coming out of this city, Houston specifically, and it's to our detriment of why I feel that we are creatively bankrupt.
Mm.
We hold ourselves back because we feel that people still want the same shit from 20 years ago.
What shit?
People still want to rock t-shirts that say
DJ Screw.
DJ Screw, rest in peace to DJ Screw, of course.
Respects though. Respects.
Rest in peace. Or like
Let him
something
rest
with
in peace, please.
or something with the Texas sign, or something with like the H10 star logo. It's like we've done this 20 years ago. It hasn't moved that much.
We did it 5 years ago.
Most of the time, they're like ripping off these tees that were like whatever you're talking about
Right.
20 years ago. They're ripping the same thing, and there's only so many at the end of the day.
And I get it. There is I guess there is a market for it, because if there wasn't, why would they keep making it?
Well,
Obviously it keeps selling, right?
right. Yeah, I guess.
The thing is,
I don't know if their sales are as good as they might make it seem sometimes.
I mean, regardless
Right.
though, I feel like someone's obviously buying the shit.
Mm.
Someone has to be buying it.
the thing is, like you talking about their inspiration is from 20 years ago, and we're recycling it. Nobody even understands that the things that were made last year are a regurgitated product,
Right.
and so they're just regurgitating the regurgitation. You know what I mean? So it's
watered down.
it's so watered
But
down, and it's
It's watered down.
no one is about that life, because I mean, what I've heard, like slut boys, they're really about that life, and they're really about the, like, about that life. I'm not even try and speak on it,
And
but
I will say shout out to them, because they do fill a space and a void that is obviously asked for from the Houston community.
Mhm.
Because like I said, like obviously someone is buying it,
Mhm.
and that's true. I mean, I do see their stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So someone is buying that stuff and they do fill a much needed void. But what I would like to say about that is to go back to that point, like obviously they're much doing it more of the inspiration of like the Screws, SUC, Swisher House, the Houston 2000s style.
Yeah.
They're doing their reinterpretation of that style. But then the thing is though, there's other brands that are taking that from them, and then they're doing that, and then other brands are doing that. So that's why I feel like Houston is creatively bankrupt,
Yeah.
because other creatives see it, they're like, oh well, they're doing well, so let me do it too. You know what I mean? But even real quick, even in just the Houston style aspect, I feel like but maybe this isn't even limited to Houston.
This probably happens every
Yeah,
city.
yeah, we're just obviously talking from our perspective.
Yeah.
But I feel like some people shouldn't have screen printers
Yeah.
or DTG machines. I feel like some people shouldn't have access to these things. Like, just because it's like that quote,
Because you can.
just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
And some people need to start being real with their friends when it comes to these brands.
And it's like going back to
Ego.
Slump Boys, like they're clearly respecting the lifestyle,
Right.
whether they're
They're living it.
yeah.
That's their shit.
And so then there are the brands that like they'll have a Jesus tee, and then they'll have a DJ Screw tee and an Astros tee, and it's like what?
I mean,
what
we're
are
going
we...
back to the same thing before. There's no meaning to their brands. There's nothing that like they stand on like at all.
Yeah.
They. I mean,
It's a cash money grab.
yeah, and even then, is it really if there's no money coming in? Like what are they grabbing at that point?
Yeah.
So it just comes from people with like kind of like what people came into the scene when it was really popular, like people with no real personality.
Real quick question about this. How do y'all feel about the Jesus streetwear trend that's kind of like a thing?
I see it in vintage.
I see it pop. Well, there's such a side, but I do
Yeah.
see more brands Jesus involved. And I will say, I'm not a religious person.
I'm not really.
I'm Catholic, but I'm not really religious.
The only people that I know like are for sure about it are Nostalgia,
Right.
because they've been doing it,
Yeah.
and they really like brought it into the forefront nowadays.
In Houston specifically,
In
yes.
Houston, yeah, of course. And so it's like now it's like, I mean, you want to talk about a more macro topic about how like more traditional conservative styles are coming back into fashion,
Right.
and vogue, and like I guess that translates to our like streetwear clothing brands.
I'm tired of seeing these like. I'm tired of seeing. I can even speak. The Shaka wear blanks with Houston screen printed on them. I'm tired of seeing that, guys. Please do more. Please try harder. Please, like, stop putting Houston. Stop putting like DJ Screw. Let the men rest in peace. If you're gonna do a rendition, at least be creative.
My thing is we're not seeing more than just the shirts and hats.
That's what I'm saying.
So what is the answer? Because more recently, like Sabine Streetwear came out, and they're at least like, I know they're creating blanks and they're creating like it's more than just screen printing, right?
Right.
So is that the answer? Do more people like start cut and sew type of companies?
Well,
like what's the thing?
I don't think that a lot of people have that capacity to do that,
Or the
I think
creativity for it.
On a lower scale though.
and that's what I mean. There's no. Yeah, I mean, there isn't like, there's nothing. I think a lot of this. I think Virgil, like making it so easy for people to feel creative, is
empowering them.
Yeah, this is the product.
Right.
Like, they're like, oh, the guy screen printing in his garage is gonna be like the next Amiri. Like, well, Amiri is also kind of bad. Like, I saw a picture like that. You're empowering. Like, like you're just feeling it, but there's nothing there. Like, you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna keep screen printing. And I do think like the Slum Boys, like there's only like, I think only there's space for all of that, I think, but I think it shouldn't be everybody doing it. I think there's like the top 3 brands, I think, are the ones that should be only doing it. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I think the top 3 brands are the ones that are the only ones who should be doing that the right way. There's only a couple of ways you can do it the right way, and the the first top three brands are the only ones doing it that way in my eyes. And
in Houston or
yeah, in
or
Houston.
which are?
Who are those top three?
Well, I think I really Slum Boys, and then I guess when it comes to hats, and like just because hats pins, it would be like the Texas Fitted, and then the third brand, it's kind of interchangeable right now, but that could just be if there's any other brands that you guys think about, because anything apart from that, I think, and that's just with the hats. I mean, with the Texas Fitted, I just mean the hats are like where you can get a little funky with it.
But that's a problem, is that we can't even think
Right.
of a third
I'll be
brand.
honest.
Well, then
there-
maybe just two brands.
I'll be honest.
or maybe just Slum Boys. If you depends how you see it.
There isn't many brands that move me that come from the city, and that to me is kind of sad, because we are filled with so many people, so much diversity, so many walks of life in this city. But personally speaking, I haven't really seen much that moves me.
Yeah.
The only guy that I can think of is the homie Josh Allen, who has his own brand, Richard and Grace, and he speaks with his brand from a perspective of because he went to art school, he went to fashion school, so he's more avant-garde with it, and his shows are cool. You know, he's trying stuff, and shout out to him for trying to be different, because he's from here, but he's, you know, being different and doing cut and sew stuff and silhouettes and all that. But besides him, there's not too many
Well, I
brands.
do think that there's like we all could also be like ignorant to those, like we don't
For sure. We
because
don't
there's
know
dude, there's
everything
this
going
guy he moved to New York, where his name's Felipe, FF facility FF facility. He does stuff like that, like cut and sew, but he was, I just know because I know him from the Savage Souls groups. You remember that, like stuff like from back then.
Okay.
And I've been following him, and he makes stuff like that. Like he'll make like a cut and sew, trench coat or like a hat, and it's very like, it's not, you'll look at it and you're like, oh, that's not from Houston. But at the end of the day, like any brands, like what, like the sign language, like not much, like what can say Houston other than like like there's not much you can do with the sign language to make it feel like you're in Houston.
People
like,
are being held hostage here by the unwalkability and by the weather, because really, look, y'all gotta change your styles too, because like the Houston uniform, I'm telling you what it is. The Houston uniform, a fitted hat, a graphic t-shirt, and like some basketball shorts, and like whatever Jordans or sneakers are cool at the moment.
right.
That's literally the Houston uniform. My homie went to a bar like a few weeks ago. He said, bro, there was like 10 people dressed like that in there.
Yeah.
Like literally that. And you know, people are doing what they can with what they have. I don't blame them. I don't expect everyone to be on like this kind of shit that we're on. And not even to say we're on anything crazy, but like we think a little different when it comes to what we wear and shit like that. And that's because we're nerds when it comes to this fashion shit too, though.
Yeah.
But it is our own detriment. And just to go back to like the thing with my homie Josh, I even talked to him before at one of his shows. We were just talking about how Houston creatives feel like we have to leave our city to really bloom or really like get into our own.
Case in point, right?
Yeah, but like your friend, because he moved to New York, Josh moved to New York too to get his brand started. So it's like
we should stop that though, right? Do you agree? Like, do you think that's?
I agree and disagree in the sense of like, I mean, there really isn't that much support for people who try to be different here in Houston, bro.
I think that like we need to stop thinking that way.
Maybe.
Because if everyone just thinks like there's this term in history called like something about like when all the smart people leave like a certain small town, and then like what's left in that small town. I mean, not to say people are dumb in that town, but it's just like it's like all the brain leaves, right?
The
and
art
so
leaves.
if we're ever gonna have any type of substantial creative cultural significance, we have to hold on to our creative talent. And like I mean that's just it.
People feel like they're not being people feel like Houston is just not supportive of each other.
Right. And I also I think it's because the walkability, all that, and also there's nowhere, like, where do you go and you're like, oh shit, like there's other cool people here, you know?
HEB.
right.
Central Market, actually.
The coffee shop.
Yeah.
Coffee, you know, where do you go? So I mean, that's at least how I do like a big thing for us this year in Tarsos is bring a lot of. I'm trying to find these brands, you know, and it's hard too. Like it's hard because like the same thing you're saying, you know, I'm trying to find brands that are like expressing themselves, have something to say, and have like maybe a longevity to them that I see to show people that, you know.
So let me not just shit too much on these Houston brands because they're trying.
They're doing.
They're doing something.
They're doing.
But let's reiterate the point from before. What is your purpose with your brand? Do you want to just make money, or do you want to like actually create something from the heart, like something that resonates with you and with the type of person that you are and with what you want to do? Like let me not just shit on them and not give any constructive criticism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
not just do better. Not just
that too. Just do better. Like, you know what I mean?
But if that's all they like, some of these brands, if that's all they want, money, like that's what they're getting, you know. So
right. And then that's how we're gonna feel about them. We're gonna feel like, oh, well, your brand is shit. Like you,
right.
Another fucking
But,
t-shirt with your brand logo on it, and like it's like, oh, you got the green colorway, you got the tan colorway,
right?
And then the font is different. It's like, come on,
yeah.
You got to do a little more than just put your logo in a different font. At least tell me a story.
Different wash.
At least make some shit up. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, most of these brands are already, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point of a brand, storytelling.
Yeah.
Like it could be fake.
But you can tell right away when a lot of these brands have no story or purpose behind them.
So I think part of what will go into like the evolution of the scene or the creation of the scene, however you see it, is the curation by resellers. But more importantly, I think it's education. Because if no one really knows the streetwear roots, like how the hell are they going to know that they need to tell a story? How are they going to need to know that they need to have an attitude, that they need to have a purpose, like it over just like function? Because I watch like Reggie Casual a lot on YouTube, and he talks a lot about like, okay, don't make a brand just about like, oh, be strong and have courage, or like just off of an ethnicity, or just off of like just like a surface level topic,
right?
Like make like clothes because you want to say something, you have something to say,
right? What's the messaging with your brand?
Yeah. And
what do you stand for?
And what's the lifestyle too? Because I mean, the brands who do it right are the brands that have a lifestyle attached to it.
That's very true, and that's why they work, and that's why people believe it. You have to sell the product, you have to communicate it, you have to make them believe like, oh, I agree with your message.
And I think we should start as like Houston brands and creators, whatever you want to call it, shift away from just the shirts, because like Quiet Mountain Cafe is this really cool like Instagram account, and they're Quiet Mountain Cafe.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so their whole thing is like coffee and outdoorsman stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like one of their first drops was like a carabiner, and they had like a coffee mug and socks.
Makes sense.
I mean, just like how we were talking earlier, like you're utilizing these stuff, stuff that you could really use. Yeah.
And it fits with the lifestyle. It's telling a story, and then also it just makes sense. Like, yeah, they made a shirt too with their logo on it, but they didn't just make a shirt. They had a lifestyle attached to it.
They didn't just make a shirt and be like, hey, here's my shirt.
But I mean, I do think though, like a lot of these, maybe a lot of these people don't think about it that way, but like a lot of brands have like, there's work, like they need a hero product. That's what it's called. Like a product that you're going to be able to sell a lot of. But I think a lot of people, like they find that product and then they just like triple down on it. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. You triple down over time maybe, but like not like that's all you do.
How do you make a fashion brand and you don't know fashion? How do you like try to swag people out and you have no swag?
Are you saying these people don't have swag?
Some of them don't. Because like, why do you have a brand and you're not even fly yourself? I think it's kind of it's not even, it's just being real. I think it's a requirement, at least for you to have some kind of cool personal style.
Personal style too,
or personality, because some
that's
don't need it.
like,
there's nothing there.
What is that word?
What are we buying?
Using aura?
Yeah.
At least have some aura to you if you're gonna like sell me some shit.
It's bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I said that yesterday.
We're low key aura farming right now.
Facts. But yeah, like it might sound mean, but like like have some swag if you're gonna sell me some swag. You know what I mean? Like,
That's for sure.
That's how I see it. Cause like, how am I supposed to believe you? You're not even swaggy yourself.
And I see a lot. It's a lot like they'll like make sell because you're bound to sell something. If you're executing an idea, whatever as low level as it might be, you might be able to get some money back. Like, wear your brand. A lot of these people buy and then they're just go and buy like Balenciaga. Like, bro, what? Like, you're not. You don't even like your own brand. You can't wear it every day.
I do like seeing people that wear their own brand, and
that's the whole point. That's what I would want.
Eric Emanuel, he wears his shit all the time, and I've kind of been like, oh, I like how he's wearing it. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you show the people how to wear it, and you have like swag, aura, whatever you want to call it, people will buy it. People will buy into it. It's, you know what I mean? Like, be more thoughtful what you're doing with like the kind of shit you're trying to sell to people. Cause like, hey, people work hard for those $45 plus shipping. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I sit at that retail desk like for 8 hours straight doing nothing for that fucking money.
And I'm saying,
but that's still some money you want to spend on something.
I'm saying, like for me personally, I'm very picky with what I buy, with the brands I buy, with everything in general. I'm very, very picky with what I buy.
I think it's because like you say, people want to buy into something. Like, you don't want to buy something and then like you know what? We're canceling the brand. Like, what? Like,
Wait, who did that?
No, I'm just saying people. Like,
a lot of people do that though.
You don't know. I mean, I can't even think of any name.
When I had a brand,
you had a brand.
I had a brand.
What was the name?
It was called Daddy.
Like Daddy?
Like DADI.
DA.
What was the story?
It was just a one-off brand that I had with my my old homie Diego. So basically, DA, DI, Daddy, and it was cool.
Was it? Oh,
and it was yeah. But it was cool because it was inspired by like vintage ringers, vintage like, I guess you could say sexual graphics, and it was cool. But we just never did anything again. But it was a one-off, so sometimes you have to just try shit and then just learn from it and just keep going, But at least you try. At least we try to do something different.
Right. Yeah. A lot of brands do that.
Because even that thing we're talking about how like there's not much creativity in Houston, we were thinking about that when we were making this brand like 3-4 years ago. When we're like, oh, we have to, let's do something different. Like, not just for the sake of selling shit.
Because I also want to say, I mean, we kind of mentioned it already. Like, there are people out there that do want to try harder, to want to think differently.
Right.
But for whatever reason, they can't get their shit out there. They can't get their shit popping.
And that's true because, I mean, that's here in Houston. There's a lot of, like, I go to these markets or I go to these events. I see people with their brands, and some of them are, but, like, they're trying, right? They're trying, but I guess for me, it's, like, not enough for me to buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's because I think everyone else's brand dilutes, like, a certain brand. Like, if you're, like, seeing 10 brands, like, you used to maybe see 1 or 2, and they're like, okay, well, I like this graphic, and, like, he's a cool guy, like you said, he got aura. And then now you just see 10 people with brands, 10, 15 people, and, like, it's starting, you're like, wait, this kind of looks all the same. And it's just like, oh, well,
and I guess
where are we headed to here?
Yeah, it also goes to that overconsumption shit. You really have to stick out, stand out. You really have to be different for someone to buy your shit, because they can just go on to H&M, or they can go to Temu, or whatever the hell, and just get something else.
Just buy from the manufacturer themselves. With your graphic,
I don't know who's buying H&M in 2025.
Not me.
You should see that store.
Oh yeah.
There's people in there all the time.
Do y'all think Uniqlo? This is random, but Uniqlo is. I mean, I'm a fan.
I like it,
but is it on the same level as a H&M?
No, it's Japanese, dude.
Facts.
But is that the only thing? Well,
I think that, I mean, at least the way they sell it, sometimes it's like, it's a little better.
They sell it in a cool way.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that the only thing?
Yes, that matters. That matters.
That's all that matters, honestly, in a brand.
Sell it in a cool way. I mean,
Supreme.
I would never compare Uniqlo to fucking like Temu or Shein.
No, that's
like bottom of the barrel.
I would compare it maybe a bit to H&M for sure, but Uniqlo does it better. You can just tell from going into their store, like from like the thoughtfulness of everything. You can just tell, right? So that's, to me, that's why I see them as their own shit in a way.
For sure, and like I was on Uniqlo in 2019. I mean, just let you know. But
2016 when they did the first cost collab.
I was rocking Supreme at that time.
Well,
I had already sold all my Supreme.
Quit trying to one up me. The thing is, like, when the Uniqlo store opened in Memorial City, you saw like everybody going to that. It was super. You did?
Yes, I got interviewed actually.
Oh, why didn't you get it?
I don't know.
It feels like swag.
Don't ask me.
It feels like swag.
Well, maybe that's why I didn't get it. They're like, he too swaggy.
It's a lot of normies that work there. No offense if you work at Uniqlo.
No offense. Unless you're listening to this, then maybe you're not a normie if you're this far in.
Yeah, like put us on. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, there's people who were introduced to Uniqlo that have no idea what it was. I think that
Everyone
kind of helps.
Everyone in that interview though, no one even knew. Like when I was getting interviewed, you see they're like, "Oh, why do you like Uniqlo?" or "What have you bought?" And they're like, "Oh, I like the
I need
tee."
money. I need a job.
I mean, that's what the question is. It was a management position though, but like, so it was a little more like,
type shit.
But they're like, "Yeah, well, I love Uniqlo because of this," and I'm like, "Name 3 collabs right now."
Oh my god!
Right?
Name 3 collabs. Lemaire, White Mountaineering, and
Undercover.
yeah.
Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, but you were wrong. Yeah.
SpongeBob.
You were wrong.
No, I said
You
no.
were
They didn't say that. I was just kind of trying to.
No, yeah.
You know, I was trying to get the job. I need,
I need some bread, dog. What do you mean? Why am I here?
money spread with the Japanese money.
Do you think like a store that's more like, I guess, fashion?
I think we're going the right way though with Uniqlo opening up in Houston at least.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
I
Is
think-
like
yeah.
well, another store
Yeah.
that's like as
Yeah.
cool as.
And
Uniqlo.
I made that point in my interview, and I still didn't get hired.
That's crazy. I would have hired you. Like, damn, you lazy hard as hell, boy.
After the interview,
Yeah.
you didn't have to do all that.
Hey, you can get up now. Why are you on
It was,
fourth?
it was a Zoom call, bro. There's 4 other people here.
Was it a group?
Yes, it was a group
Oh,
interview.
I hate group interviews.
Damn.
I know I did better than all of them.
I know. Yeah, you
I know
probably
I
did.
like
Everyone that works
There's a
at the
lot of
Uniqlo
people.
store from the last time I went is very like approachable looking. Like everyone looks mad friendly.
Oh, who
what
worked
do you
there?
mean by
Yeah.
that?
Like they just all look
Like you were approachable.
they look respectfully. They all look very NPC like.
They're not from the streets.
Nah, like
Where
they-
shit ain't sweet.
there's no swag on them, and I think that's why they didn't hire you, because you have too much swag for Uniqlo. They need some
Spread
boring
my aura.
NPC looking people to help.
I guess
I mean, if you come up,
I only been there once.
hey, if you come up to me and you're rocking some, I'm like, yo, what are you doing here? Why are you working
Why are
here?
you wearing undercover 05 in here, bro?
Type shit. Why are you wearing those lightning bolt jeans and Uniqlo? You don't need
Why are they
this job.
different colors?
You're rocking some like bread ones and shit in here. Like,
Probably salvage is too
No,
expensive.
actually,
for 'em.
bread one is probably passive.
yeah, I guess
Well, yeah,
that's
bread
normie
one.
core at this point, right?
Yeah, they need someone to sell the cactus plant SpongeBob collab. You know.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, but
Oh, here's a bag, bro.
just put the price in the bag. Hey, but that is true though. I think that store is kind of important in a sense to like expand people's palette and mind. I mean, it's Uniqlo at the end of the day, but like
Uniqlo.
for
$20
Houston,
socks.
for Houston, that's a lot. To
$20.
No, it is. No, it is,
For
right?
Houston, it's a lot.
And then you just think about like in the galleria like Gentle Monster, you know
Who?
Gentle Monster.
No.
It's
The-
a Korean brand.
The glasses
Oh.
store.
Yeah, like they collab with Margiela.
Korean H&M.
No,
it's
the
just
glasses
sunglasses.
Oh,
Korean Asian.
my fault.
But I mean, like if you were going there, have you ever been in the store?
Yeah.
Like it's very like crazy art installations in there, and like the eye moving and looking
The-
at you.
oh,
the
I've
fact-
heard of them.
Yeah.
You're-
The
So-
fact that
that-
store is like more art installation is so fashion. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, yeah. And then last time I was to say the point of how Houston thinks of stuff, right? I was in there one time, and there was a guy walking around. He's like, "Dude, this is giving me Nego vibes."
Nice. The bar is so low here.
Dude.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the furthest they can think. You know, that's the pinnacle of fashion is
For people-
Nego.
Yeah.
Like, and not saying that he's bad, but like, I mean, it's just babe.
There's deeper to it.
Yeah,
It's
he
more.
said-
It's more
I
than
mean,
just him.
Nego
It's
has
it's
more
like
than just babe.
20 people that I can think of before Nego.
Because
you know?
Ego technically is the number 2 to someone
Hiroshi
else.
Fujiwara.
Yes.
And that's how he got his name. I was going to bring that.
Okay, the Reggie casual. The Reggie
Guy.
casual guy.
Whoa.
That's how he says.
I was gonna say Jun Takahashi, but thank God you said it first.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm wrong. Fuck.
Yeah.
Nah,
hey.
but
I think
but
Don't quote him. Don't quote him.
Don't quote me.
we're not fact checking nothing.
Don't fact check. No community
These are
notes
just
here.
straight vibes.
I just read about it. That's why I know.
No, but you're
You
right.
read an article on TikTok.
No, but you're right though, because like
Look,
it does like here's people's understanding of like what's fly and shit.
Nego.
It only goes it only goes so far. Unfortunately.
But like that just kind of encapsulates everything we talked about. Like,
I mean, the regular consumers, they're not big nerds like us. They're not fashion
but like,
nerds.
but then you go to a place like LA, New York, and Tokyo. Oh, well, Tokyo's an exception actually because everyone's a nerd. But like LA, like not everyone in there is also a nerd about it.
That's true.
People, not everyone there is a nerd about it. People are just
swaggy.
Yeah, it's like just
Hey, people in LA. Have you ever been to LA, John?
No.
People.
Well, as a kid, but not.
People in LA are really just naturally swaggy. Like they're always trying to put that shit on. Literally everywhere you go.
so, and it doesn't mean that they're like like nerds. It just means that the level there, like they have so much options.
Right. That's just what it is.
And then we just need more options. That's
Motherfuckers got H&M's and Zara to death here in Houston.
No.
That's it.
Well, I mean, the other day I did see at the Gallerias, like I have seen the Cactus Plant SpongeBob collab. I mean, we're headed somewhere, but like it's
That's
still
been
like
there at the
No, that's what I'm saying. But like,
yeah,
It's
like,
something new for them.
yes, there we go. It's just
no, I'm
you,
saying like it was at that
I can get
location.
the
already.
hoodie. What you mean?
The SpongeBob and Cactus Plant
Yeah,
at
I wouldn't
Uniqlo.
wear that.
yeah.
I would.
I want the
That was there
plushies.
from the like beginning.
Plushies, stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of cool, a little plushie.
Yeah. Collectibles.
There you go.
But I was gonna say something.
Say it. It's okay.
Keep going.
Well, I mean, we're running out.
Well, no. Okay.
I'll cut this part out. What was I gonna say?
Well, I think we just need more options.
Oh, I was
There
gonna
we go.
say.
Not there.
Just like
That's funny. No, leave it on. Leave it in there.
We'll do it live.
I think we need to stop. I think we need to stop comparing to those cities
Why?
Facts. We do need to.
because
we need to be
because
realistic.
we can't.
We
Okay.
need to be realistic.
Okay, that we need to stop shitting on Houston first of all,
Motherfuckers got no swag. No, I'm just kidding.
and then
Some of
like
them do.
we're not those cities, and like
Three of y'all.
the
They're
more
here.
the more that we like compare, the more we can't even. There you go. We can't even get our own shit off, and we can't even create our own swag.
But like, what is that? Like, I mean, right now, it's like you said,
We-
fitted, but like,
No.
I feel like
We gotta create it. We ain't gonna like.
I feel
use
like
the
you
shit.
go to like places like in New York, they're wearing like the Yankees fitted and stuff. Like they sometimes can make it look fly.
Sometimes
Why can't
they
we just-
usu-
why
they
can't
usually
we-
do?
There's nothing wrong with fitteds. It's
Yeah.
just how you wear it. I mean, and with anything, there's not.
Tip.
Yeah, like Ti.
Like still swag.
There's nothing wrong
More
with
swag.
specific pieces. It's just like how you wear it in your
Right.
everyday.
It's the
life.
basketball shorts.
It-
I think it's the basketball
I
shorts.
like
We can
wearing
start,
basketball shorts.
but like out.
But
Like,
you,
are you gonna go somewhere where you're like gonna get perceived in basketball shorts?
Sometimes are they the Supreme Jordan ones?
Oh, there we go. See,
Yeah, I
okay, okay. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Now you're cooking.
but you get what I mean, real,
Are they
right?
patchwork though?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we do need to stop doing that because I mean, but like to your point though,
Mm.
I'm not gonna fake support anyone.
Mm.
Just me being me.
If you don't repost it,
If exactly like if I'm not
welcome with it.
if you're my friend, I'll repost it because even though I might not like it or buy it, someone else will, and I see you trying, right?
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna be the fake person to like fake support some shit that I don't like. That's just not.
I
me.
feel like I see that a lot with these Houston brands. Like you get the people like
yeah,
their friends. I'm like, do you like? I've never seen you even wear it. Like
it's like people like supporting like rappers that are trash and because they're your
that's
homies.
subjective. That's a little more.
I mean, yeah, but same concept. Like, come
We're
on,
talking to you two Hollies. No,
What?
exactly.
industry plant. But anyways,
His mom is like the manager.
yeah, yeah.
Is she?
But I'm not gonna fake support anything. Like make me like it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like move me,
Mm.
literally move me. Like make me feel something.
Hand me over.
Okay, dude.
You're like aggressive.
Well,
with
like
it.
I mean, he was coming a different way already, but
Pause. No, but yeah, like at least
Play.
make something cool that I want to buy. I'm not because
make
I
me
feel
feel
bad for you.
cool. Make me feel cool.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Turn me up.
Turn me up, twin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's how I feel personally. I'm not gonna fake support anything that I don't like. Never will.
But then you see like going back to the people move to other cities like the LAs, New Yorks, Tokyos, whatever, the more fashion forward cities. Like how many of these like brands that you see like Studio in New York, whatever, Studio in LA, like how many of these are even like from New York, they're all coming from different
Yeah.
areas, like
Most of them
Ohio.
aren't. Yeah.
So like, what do we do? You know, like, do we just keep going back to those cities? Because that's the only like
We gotta move. We literally gotta move.
we gotta go. Well, we gotta go to
Yeah,
Belgium.
because if we go to Houston and you have a studio, I mean, if we go from Houston to New York, and then they see your shit and they're like, "Oh, you're from Houston? Oh, that's cool." You know what I mean? Like to them, it's like, "Oh, that's cool as fuck."
different.
I don't think so. I don't think we go over there.
We don't have cool points.
It's the same way if people from New York come here. We're like, "Oh, they're cool. They're from New York."
Nah,
I disagree. Like, and
Like,
I'm being
give me that chopped
realistic.
cheese,
I'm being
buddy.
realistic
I'm
because
being-
if we come from Houston, it's like, what do people know about Houston?
I'm being hyperbolic, but
Okay.
it's like, yeah, you're right. I mean, what do they know about? They know Drank. Maybe they know DJ Screw.
Crickle
But
Bang.
that's what I'm saying. We don't
Yeah.
have a cultural identity.
don't.
Ooh.
And that
They think we're cowboys. Realistically, bro, when you tell people that you're from Texas, all these motherfuckers think of you as cowboys, horses, and shit like that.
Really?
It's like
And-
we live in the city.
yeah, if they've never been to the H,
I
they're not
haven't
gonna
even
know.
seen a horse. Actually, there was a horse walking by here once.
Yeah,
So like, but I
There are
mean,
plenty of horses.
there's horses in acres homes just
but like,
every day.
we're not using them. You know, we're going to school in them anymore.
They're just free roam.
except during the rodeo time.
Yeah,
During the
exactly.
rodeo time.
Same
But,
pick.
so that's what we're known for. We're known
It's the
for
worst time to record this, huh?
We're known for cowboys, horses, chopped and screwed music.
If
Drake.
that though, I feel like that's kind of like
Did you
It's
say
kinda
Drake?
people who even
Did you say Drake?
Drank,
Oh, Drake.
not Drake. That's not ours.
The opposite of the border.
Facts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we do have to build an identity, but
But what could that be? Like, what if you were to say that? Like, where would we even start with that?
I don't know. Maybe we're just cooked.
We're not cooked. I think
Especially with all these people moving in, like, you know,
All the
are
transplants.
we
But,
gonna leave
okay.
it to them to do that?
that's what I'm saying. That's it's like
yeah, y'all got it.
we have to take our own personal stories and turn it into more than just, hey, we're from Houston.
Yeah, like for me, I don't want to be like if I have a brand, I don't want it to be like, oh, that's a Houston brand, or that's a Mexican, or that's a Mexican owned brand, or like, you know what I mean? I don't want these fucking little things to be attached to me. I just want to.
But like, not in like you would like you do it, but like in a tasteful way, you know, like,
Yeah.
oh, like the thread, you know.
But that's not gonna be my identity. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sell myself as like, oh, I'm a Mexican Houston brand.
And it's
Look at
like,
me.
if it's all about
True.
that, your ethnicity and about Houston, it's already like flat to me.
Yeah, it's already in a box.
Yeah.
Like
so-
that's already like so like
So then, why does it matter if we leave or not?
we should leave.
Why bad? No, what I'm
Well,
saying
hold
is,
up.
what I'm saying is,
My brain.
oh my god,
We're leaving you.
Next
homegrown.
podcast in Florida.
It's about homegrown talent staying in our hometown and building the community, building the scene up more than what it is.
I'll be real with you, bro. I think people have been trying to do that shit here for like.
And for
And,
sure,
like,
and
we-
we're not
yeah.
the first people to have that conversation, but like,
Look at
who's gonna be the generation to do it? Are we just gonna sit around here and accept that, oh, people have tried to do it,
we're
so
old, dude.
No, you're not.
Like,
so
wait.
so we're just not gonna do it? You know what I mean?
No, I feel you 100%. Maybe
I'm not about that.
maybe it will be us. I mean, look
No,
at us.
We
Right
got.
here.
We'll put Houston on our backs, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna.
No one has tried that before.
No one's trying to do whatever we're doing.
Okay.
Three guys in the pod.
We're
Talk serious. Talk serious.
we're the first guys doing a podcast here in Houston
Show.
With substance.
with vintage.
With
For
substance.
sure. But okay, I think we got a good
We nailed it.
talking point there.
Yeah. So, thank you. Present yourself one more time for the camera.
I'm Daniel at Outfits Imois on IG. Go follow me. Check out the stuff that I sell. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Check out what they're doing. They're creative, like actual creative, not just because they're my friends. They know.
We just
their
went over
shit.
this.
But yeah, appreciate y'all.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Catch you later.
Peace.